Hi, I'm Melissa Webb, and I get very excited about teaching children to embrace writing and to realize that they have a voice and that they can communicate in a way that they maybe have never done before. So, I will be teaching some courses coming up both in the summer and in the fall, and I just want to make sure you know about that. Now, one thing that I want to make sure everybody understands, there are a lot of different writing styles, but there are three main styles of writing that honestly, when you look at pretty much every other style of writing, it's going to fall under one of these three genres. Okay. I kind of think of them as the umbrellas, and everything else is going to fall under that. And I want to make sure that everybody understands what those are so that as you're choosing writing lessons for your child, you'll know what I teach, why I value these three, and how they can all empower your child now and in the future. So let me tell you about those in a little more detail. Okay, so let's talk about the three main categories of writing. You're familiar with them, even if you're not familiar with these particular names. You've been writing these probably your whole life. That would be the persuasive style of writing, expository style, and the narrative style, or genre, or classification, whatever you want to call them. These are the three main, what I like to call umbrellas of writing. And all of the other writing that we have done as adults throughout our lifetime have fallen probably 90% of the time into one of these three categories. So when I'm teaching children the three different styles, I always teach them to find the root word in any larger word. This is just great academically across the board when you need to decide on the meaning of a word. So I teach persuasive. I teach the root word there, persuade. This is a type of writing style that persuades our reader to agree with us. And next we have expository, where the root word would be expose. We're going to expose facts and truth. And then there would be narrative, where our root word would be narrate, which is to tell. Okay, so let's go a little bit deeper. All three of these, of course, have to be well organized, but part of that organization, it's very important that we understand what each of these different classifications or categories are asking us to do. So what's important here in persuasive, when you look at organization here, we're specifically looking at making sure that as a writer, we have a very clear opinion. We have a good claim that we're going to support with excellent facts, not feelings. Now, as students get older, they go from writing opinion papers, which is part of persuasive, into writing argumentative essays, also part of persuasive, but that's where they're going to learn things like the counter argument. Now, the organization of an expository, now think of this, these are all those research papers you've done over the years. That's where you read a lot of information and you're supposed to now summarize. So it could be like a scientific summary. That's a form of an expository. You could be a full-on research. So you've done all of your research on penguins, and now you're going to write about the life of penguins. You're going to have a thesis or a main idea. You're going to have to stay focused, give a lot of excellent evidence and details. Now, when writers are younger, they're explaining how something is the way it is. But when you move into the upper grades of 6th, 7th, and 8th grade, not only are you explaining the what, but you're explaining the why something is. So that's where we're going to go even a little bit deeper and make some inferences in our writing. Last thing I want to say, just with the organization of a narrative, these can be stories that could be real or imagined. They're really fun and they're meant to entertain the reader. All right, so here we're convincing the reader. In the second one, we're teaching the reader. And in the third one, we're entertaining our readers. Really important that children understand the difference. And I feel that all of the other things that we create in writing fall in these three categories. So these are so important to master. Now, back to persuasive, this is where we're going to need evidence that's logical and convincing. When we're writing an expository, we're going to elaborate with plenty of facts and details We're supporting our main idea or our thesis over and over again. We're citing sources. It's really important. When we're writing the narrative, this is the development piece. We need dialogue. We need excellent sensory description. We're going to use fun figurative language to really entertain and illustrate our story to the reader. Lastly, all three of them have to have excellent conventions. That is just referring to the mechanics, the sentence structure, right? All of our punctuation, capitalization, the grammar piece. Of course, that falls into great writing. So now you know these three kind of as an overall, but let me give you a fun example so that you can see how you're still using these three styles of writing, whether you're doing it in a speaking fashion or you're actually writing to somebody in an email, or maybe you're even putting out some blog articles or writing up some reviews. I promise you, you're still using these, and I think I can show you how relevant and important it is to teach our children these three important styles of writing. So follow along. I hope you're still following along with me, because I'm going to give you some very practical proof of how important these three styles are. And I want you to imagine we're in your kitchen with your Instant Pot. Do you love your Instant Pot? Okay, I love my Instant Pot. And if I wanted to persuade you, the person who doesn't have an Instant Pot, that you should have one, I would be writing persuasively, yes? Okay, now this would be a kind of write-up where I would be telling you all of the facts about my Instant Pot and how it has just made my life so much better. I would give you all kinds of evidence as far as the time it is saving, how delicious the meals are, how they're foolproof, how I could have forgotten to defrost something, but not a problem. In my Instant Pot, I could make it so quickly. And here I would be giving you all kinds of evidence that this is the best kitchen appliance that I have in my kitchen. When I am done, if I was effective in doing this, you would want to jump onto Amazon and go order an Instant Pot, okay? Let's keep with that same theme though. If I was going to be an expository writer, I would be, in this case, let's say I wanted to compare my Instant Pot to my crock pot. Now, this is really important that you're going to see the difference between persuasive writing and expository writing. Remember, in persuasive writing, I'm convincing you that you need to go buy an Instant Pot. However, in expository writing, it is not my goal to convince you to agree with me in any way, shape, or form. My goal is to expose and inform my reader about what I've learned, what I've experienced. By the time I'm done, I would hope you wouldn't know which one I prefer. That would be a really successful expository essay or review or blog entry, whatever you would be writing. So in this case, I would have all my pros and all my cons about the Instant Pot, and then all the pros and all the cons about my crock pot. And at the end, you're using that information to develop your own opinion and your own ideas. I'm not convincing you to agree with me. I'm just showing you this one versus that one. And now you are more informed and smarter because of it. Lastly would be an example of a narrative. Now remember, a narrative is meant to entertain you. So imagine if I told you this great story about how this woman, Melissa Webb from Southern California, bought her Instant Pot, but now she uses it more to do her laundry. She has actually been able to pressure cook out some baseball stains from her son's uniform. This could be a really hysterical story to read. And by the way, it is me, Melissa Webb. I don't use mine for laundry, but yes, I actually read a hysterical article about a woman who does. So that's a great example still on Instant Pot. You can see how I used all three of these examples, connecting it with Instant Pot, but how each one has a different goal and a different outcome for the reader. Children need to know these three. They need to be able to distinguish between the three categories, their differences, and then determine every time they write, what is their goal? Is their goal to convince a reader, inform a reader, or entertain a reader? If our children know that, boom, right away they're going to know what type or style of writing they should be doing, and they're going to be more effective. So, right, it's a great thing to know and understand. That's why I teach these. So I hope you come along. Head on over to my website if you haven't already. Make sure we're friends. Subscribe to my email list. I send out a Friday email with all kinds of fun facts and just all kinds of stories and helpful hints and weekly freebies and lots of mom stuff. Moms who are really geared into engaging and equipping their children for future success. That's what I really can get behind, and I want to connect with you. So be sure to reach me over there. Well, I'm so glad that you stuck around, and I'm glad I got an opportunity to explain to you these 3 important styles that we need to be teaching our children. So yes, I do teach monthly online classes. I'd love for you to be a part of our community. I have a lot of fun with my students. But even if you're not looking for that, I hope that you realize that learning these 3 styles are really beneficial. And so as you're planning out your writing lessons, be sure to include all 3. And as I mentioned just a second ago, I want to make sure that you are subscribed and connected with me. I love to give suggestions and ideas and lots of freebies to really support you, the homeschooling mom. You need a community, and it's where my heart is. So by all means, let's be friends. Come find me, and I look forward to seeing you soon. Until then, write on.